Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Hodge here, and I had started an episode of Pokemon Emerald, and in the course of that, got kind of political and deep really quick, and was thinking it just doesn't really, it's not really an episode of Pokemon, it's not really light and fun and happy. It doesn't progress the story, I'm just doing some grinding. However, it was some stuff I wanted to put out there, dealing with the Sandy Hook shooting and gun control in the country, and just some kind of thoughts. And things about it, and so I'm going to put that. I'm still putting it out. I still want you to see it. I still want us to have a conversation, but it's not going to be a Pokemon Emerald episode per se. That being said, if you don't want to have that conversation, if it's still too painful, still too hard for you, definitely you want to skip out on this one. But if you want to have a conversation about what's going on and how do we stop it, those kinds of things, that's kind of where I went with the video. Now, understand I respect everyone's right to differing opinions. So if you can be civil with me, I can be civil with you. And so that being said, I will be watching the comments of this video, and if it goes south, then I'll just shut it down. I want us to be able to have civil, grown-up conversations. So I'm going to put that out there from the start. So that being said, please, if you want to take part in that conversation, go right ahead and keep watching this video, and let's have a good conversation about it. And I will see you guys next time for happier things, but this had to be out in the world, I feel like. So thanks, and I will see you soon. I said I might grind up before the gym, and I decided against that, mostly because I've liked this kind of just chill, let's just play the game, talk over it, have some fun. I like these kinds of episodes, so I'm gonna do that. Because it's fun for me, and I want to catch an Abra. I don't know why I said it that way. But I want to catch one of those. That is a Geodude. Totally not what I wanted. Anyway, I decided I wanted to do that because I kind of enjoy these kinds of videos. So, happy fun times for all, I would assume. So I think I'm just gonna kind of just talk, not really about Pokemon, but just kind of talk about things in my life, in my world. One of these things that has been really, it's been bothering me lately, I've been seeing a lot of it on the YouTubes and on the Facebooks. It's just this, okay, so I don't know how many of my viewers are not from America, but I want you to know some things that have happened here. Specifically, there was a big shooting a while back ago, and that has sparked a debate over gun control or not here in this country. And that's all well and good. That's not where I'm going, really at all. Except for it gets us to where my frustration comes from. I think this tragedy happened, and we find ourselves at a point where we need to have discussions, and those discussions are happening, however slowly and however kind of annoyingly they're happening. That being said, some of the stuff I've seen recently has been people saying that, oh, it's a conspiracy by the government, that this shooting is a conspiracy by the government, through which they're going to push through gun bans, thus taking away our Second Amendment rights, which the Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. That is, well, it's quite frankly, it's pretty stupid. But even that's not really where I want to go. Basically, this idea that it's a conspiracy by the government it's really offensive. It's very offensive to me. Specifically because the reasoning, and I'm not even going to link to the video because it bothers me that much. But there's a YouTube video kind of going around, and that video basically says that it cites a couple of things, one of which is it says that the parents are shown on television, the parents of these children that died are shown on television later, and they're laughing and they're not mourning, and and that one specifically really bothers me, because, hold on a second, I need to have a little bit of levity here. Abra's name is going to be, well, he's sitting, so we're gonna call him Sitting. Of course, Sitting Bull won't fit. Sitting Bull. Yeah, that'll work. Whatever. I can't really think of funny names right now, because this is just kind of like, I'm sorry if this is sounding like preachy. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so they're talking about parents, like, not grieving, quote unquote, appropriately. Anyone who has ever been through the grieving process understands that it is different for everyone. And so this idea that, like, proper grieving isn't happening, it bothers me to no end, because I know that there's no such thing as proper grieving, and that a lot of times the way, especially in really intense tragedies like this, when people are facing grieving, that it doesn't even reveal itself as grieving, that sometimes these people can look happy. Your brain really does a lot of crazy things to you when you're that depressed, and I know that from experience. Just in my life, I mean, I spent a better part of my younger life being depressed, and I know what that feels like. I know what it looks like, and a lot of times it does represent itself in a way that seems not normal. In fact, that's part of the reason people that are depressed, specifically after times of intense, like, trauma like this, are depressed for as long as they are, because in the times that they don't feel depressed, like these parents are probably exhibiting from time to time, the times that they don't feel depressed is they feel guilty for not being utterly sad, and then they and then they get sadder, and that happens. I mean, I dealt with that for years, and so just to see people on Facebook and just on the internet in general, like, saying, "Oh, it's a conspiracy. Look, these parents, they're actors." That's what offended me the most, because I know, and most people that have been depressed know, that that's just not how it works. That you have really good times and you have really bad times, and to insinuate that these parents who have lost a child are faking it at the beck and call of the government to push through gun control. It's ridiculous. Now, if your opinion is otherwise, I'm sorry if I offended you. That's not my intention. People are totally entitled to their opinions, and so I think it's silly, and my opinion is that it's ridiculous. My opinion is that our public officials, our government people, most definitely are corrupt, can be corrupted, are corruptible, however you want to put it. I think they probably do some pretty terrible things to us, specifically in the realm of our rights and our... I can't think of another word, but they do things like against us. However, I refuse to take. I guess I can't say I refuse to take part in the conversation, because that's what I'm doing. But it's bothersome to me to have to see it, and the argument is, well, you don't want to see it, don't look. And that's just complete bullcrap. I mean, if I were to... Okay, let's go back. If I were to go back to September 11th, a tragedy in our country, if I were... And there were people that posted videos that said, "Oh, look, here's how it's fake, and there's conspiracy theories," and even myself for a long time, I played into these conspiracy theories, and there may be something to some of these conspiracy theories, but at the core, like, we haven't changed anything about it. We haven't fixed it. You know, people had this discussion about September 11th for so long, and we haven't changed anything. Like, it's still what it is. And no matter how you slice it, it's a terrible thing that happened. I feel the same way about Sandy Hook. Like, we can talk about it all day long till we're blue in the face, but no matter how you slice it, it is a terrible thing that happened. Ultimately, I know the discussion is being had because people are afraid that the government is going to come and take away their guns. I get that. There's absolutely no proof for that. You know, we've been here. We've had 4 years now of an Obama administration who actually has categorically been like he's been one of the worst on gun control. And when I say worst, I mean like he's been one of the most lax we've had in a long time. So, you know, the idea that I think that he's going to come and take your guns or the government's going to come and take your guns is silly. Second of all, I don't think it's really, like, people quote the Second Amendment, it says the right to bear arms, and it is, but it is talking about a well-trained militia, not a group of random citizens. I don't even really want to go there because I don't want to have an argument about the Second Amendment. What I want to have an argument about is people being so inconsiderate of trauma in people's lives that there are people, and this goes on both sides of any argument, but there are people who would rather poke the fire and make it worse because it fits their political, ideological agenda. There are people that would rather do that than console grieving families, that would want to refuse to believe that a tragedy occurred and it happened because a guy who shouldn't have had access to guns, that he shouldn't have had access to, they would rather refuse to believe that and call grieving parents liars. I don't know why I'm running around like in circles. I'm not going to encounter anything here. They would rather do that, and that, like, it blows my mind that we would be so inconsiderate of our fellow man. That really bothers me. At the core of my heart, I just want us to care about our fellow man. And when we say things and we do things and we have this conversation, we're not doing that, and it breaks my heart. So anyway, that's where I am with that. You know, this is kind of different. I think I probably will not make this an episode of Pokemon. Pokemon Emerald doesn't really fit with the feel. So I'll probably just put it up as a vlog of some sorts. Kind of with Pokemon playing in the background. Maybe that'll offset the gravity of the conversation. Maybe not, I don't know. However you see this video, you'll see this video. I don't know where it'll be placed particularly. We'll see. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call it quits there. Kind of had a long conversation, but what do you think? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I know this is kind of out of character for me, but it's something that's been kind of weighing on me the past couple of days, and I wanted to know what you guys thought, and also get some Pokemon grinding done in the process. So let me know. Let's have a conversation. Let's be civil. Remember that. Let's be civil down in the comments, and know that I think that ultimately we, as people, we have to come together and we have to say, you know, something terrible happened. How do we stop it from happening again in the same capacity? And that's my hope on both sides of the argument, that both sides would come in, or all sides would come in and say, how do we make this terrible thing never ever happen again? Let's be open, let's be honest, let's be real, and let's stop things like this from happening, or at least make it harder for them to happen. That's ultimately where I am. I respect all of you, and I respect your opinions and your right to have them. So let's have a conversation, but again, let's keep it civil, and I will see you next time. Definitely more happy than I am right now. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.